I'm going to be teaching you a little bit about how do you continue going forward once you have a plan. All right, so if you have a plan, then obviously you're going to need the energy that's going to propel you forward. Once you have a plan, أول ما يكون عندك plan, you need the energy that's going to propel you forward. The first thing you need to do is, once you feel like you cannot go forward or you are hindered from going forward, اسمع كده الكلام ده. Once you are hindered, what is the meaning of hindering? اكتب لي الكلمة دي hinder. اسمع كده hinder يعني ممتنع عن انك انت دلوقتي if you feel like you are hindered. وخلي بالك انا حطيت الايدي عشان بنتكلم على الماضي بتاعها. If you feel hindered from going forward يعني لو حسيت انك انت في حاجة منعاك من انك تعدي الحتة دي. To be hindered is to be stopped or to be limited. But when you think about it, if you are hindered from going forward, it means that there is an obstacle. And if you are experiencing some sort of obstacle that is hindering you from going forward, it means you are being prevented from going forward. Now, عاوزين نتكلم على كلمة transcend. First of all, when you have perseverance, لما يكون عندك unshakable energy, unshakable dedication, now you can transcend. Transcend with a D. Transcend. Transcend ببساطة يا معلم معناها انك انت to rise above all the obstacles that you face. Transcend يعني to rise above all the obstacles that you face. يعني اهي انت obstacles قلنا يعني الحاجات اللي بتعمل لك limit انك تعدي من خلالها. يعني على سبيل المثال لو قلت لك مثلا there's an obstacle يعني احنا بنتكلم على حاجة موقفاني او عامله لي حاجز كده مش قادر اتخطاه. لما اقول لك you need to transcend beyond your obstacles يعني محتاج انك انت تتخطى وتعلى للدرجه انك انت الobstacles دي مش هقول لك في يعني تحتيك بشويه، لا انت عديتها بمراحل. Transcend. You need to realign. What's realign? Align, realign. It means to fix your direction again. You need to realign your ideas. You need to realign your direction, right? So sometimes when you are working on something, working on a dream or a target, sometimes when you are working, we get off course. Again, sometimes we get off course. يعني we get off course. مش قصدي الكورسات. You get off course يعني الطريق بتاعك ساعات بتاخد طريق غلط أو بتقع من الطريق بتاعك. You get off course. So what you do is you get back on course. Off course, on course, off, on. لما تيجي تعمل الشيفتنج ده ما بين off course and on course دي اسمها realign. وانت شغال على حلمك sometimes you need to realign. And we talked about being off course. And if we are off course, we're going to get back on course, right? And this just means that we get back to our original position. That's the idea of realigning. Realign. Now that you have your idea and you have your obstacles that you surpassed and everything else, now you need to be emboldened. You need to be emboldened. And what is the meaning of emboldened? إنك to have the courage, right? To be emboldened means to have the courage to do whatever you want to do, right? So if you have the courage to do whatever it is that you want to do, your own personality and self-esteem will be emboldened. And to be emboldened means to have the courage to do something, to have the courage to face whatever it is that you need to face. So I want you to be emboldened. Emboldened. جاية من كلمة bold. You've heard this word before, right? Bold. So bold is the adjective, right? And to use it as a verb, you have to say embold. Emboldened. I like how emboldened you are. Embold. يعني to have the courage to do whatever it is that you want to do. بس أهم حاجة إنك تبقى عارف اللي كلمة embold means or equals encourage. That's what it means. Emboldened. The first thing you have to do is you have to persist. And persist means what? Persist means no matter what happens, you have to continue. And this is the idea of persistence. When you persist on something, at least if you persist on something, you may have some results. You may see some results and the results may be positive or negative. Whether they are positive or negative is irrelevant. What is the meaning of irrelevant? يعني irrelevant. يعني مش مهم. Relevant مهم. Irrelevant مش مهم. ففي الحالة دي لما نقول مثلا whether the result is positive or negative, it's irrelevant. يعني مش مهم. المهم بس حاجة واحدة، إنك أنت بتشتغل على الحلم بتاعك، عشان لو شغال على الحلم بتاعك تشوف فيها نتائج حلوة ووحشة مش مهم. ليه؟ It's not relevant for one reason. When you get results, you get what's called feedback. Results are another way of just at least seeing feedback. And when you get feedback, now you can pivot. Pivot means to change direction slightly a bit. So when you pivot just a little bit, it can change the dynamic of the result. For example, you start a plan, you get some results, you don't like the results, you change just a little bit. This is called pivoting. And once you pivot a little bit, the results that you start getting will change again because you made a change. And the change here is the idea of pivoting that we're talking about. And results are everywhere. The problem is most people don't even look for the results. Most people are waiting for the results to happen without them actually putting in the effort. And that's the true problem or the real problem that everybody's suffering from. هي دي المشكلة الحقيقية اللي كله بيعاني منها، اللي هي إيه؟ اللي هو كلنا متوقعين نتائج معينة ولكن ما بنعملش أي حاجة ممكن توصلنا لده. إحنا بنقعد نحلم، نقعد نقول يا رب يا رب تيجي، وحلو إنك يبقى إيمانك في ربنا، بس برضه لازم تسعى، من غيرها مفيش حاجة هتحصل. يعني ما ينفعش تقف قدام القطر وانت شايف القطر جاي وتقول يا رب انقذني، لا، ما هو مديك رجل حضرتك، اتحرك، شايفه جاي ابعد يا اما اخبطك واحنا مش ناقصين. First of all, زي ما قلنا you need to persevere. تاني persevere means to have unshakable energy and unwavering energy to continue doing what you are doing. Once you realign your direction, vision, target, and everything else, you need to ascend higher. Again, you need to ascend higher in thinking. What is the meaning of ascend? Ascend means to go up. I'll give you an example. When you're in a plane, an airplane, the plane first starts running down the runway, going faster and faster, and eventually when it reaches somewhere around 250 miles per hour, it begins to ascend. And then when you're finished with your flight and you're getting ready to go back down, it's called descend. So ascend, descend, ascend, descend. Once you realign your direction, we finished getting back on course again. Now we need to ascend higher in thinking. And when you ascend higher in thinking, it's because you've received results. They may not be the results you like, but you got feedback. And that feedback that you got is going to help you to ascend higher in thinking. That means you're going to change the way of thinking and your mindset. And you'll begin trying different things. And once you begin trying different things, you'll begin to implement different ideas. And when you implement different ideas, you'll get results again. And those results will be feedback again. And that type of feedback is going to help you to elevate your ideas.